All right, Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Ready, 280, 51. I got it. Double time, double time. Double time.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Toss play, Kamara. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
This pass into the arms of Snead. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week? That's just going to naturally continue. Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target. And now it's third down.
Got it. 25. 11. 51.
Kamara trying to right side. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with fourth down forthcoming. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. And the 13-year man puts it through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And that's caught inside the 35. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, and he will score! Touchdown, Vikings! Todd Gurley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
At the 31-yard line.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Ryan to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Jackson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Jackson to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Ryan. It's complete to Snead. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Ryan. And it's caught. The tight end Hill. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. He uncorks it for Snead. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 13-yard line.
Let's go now. 6 yards.
After one, a 14-3 ball game.
14. Buccaneers 3.
Heavy on the edges. Heavy on the edges. Hey, go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson stepping up. He'll try and run. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
59. Here we go. D all day. Defense all day. All day.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. He gets it to Gurley, complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
To the running back, this position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he goes out right around the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Shoot. Watch the shoot. Watch the safety creep. Safe. Screen.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's going to look deep down the field. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take the ball in the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Now Brown. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
46-yard line.
Shut. 15 on it. 15 on it. 59. Mike to 59. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson looking for his running back, and he's got him.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. He can run for it, and he will. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point try good by Gano. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. On 2nd and very short, Ryan. Snead's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 26. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Running with Kamara. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. From the gun, it's Ryan. Toward the pylon, caught. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Alvin Kamara, as the first half is winding down. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. Until that late score here in the 2nd quarter, they'd only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, and when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as a head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. Lamar Jackson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to
in that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there.
Let's go, baby.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the 2nd half.
Come on, baby. Let's go. Get excited. Let's go. Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
I'm scared.
The 3rd quarter starts with a run by Gurley. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
The Vikings send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it with Johnson. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back, because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
Hey, Alpha!
From the gun on third down, Ryan. And he's got Snead. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Ryan. Caught right side at Snead. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And his guys will set up field at the 50-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about How much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that,
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
on plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. That'll bring up second down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
got
they?
a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Todd Gurley. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays, and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Ryan. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jalen Mills. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Gano the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
I'm coming.
Throwing on second down. Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Jackson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here's Ryan. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Quan Williams. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
56, right there, 56. Check pass. Check.
Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
At the 49-yard line.
Ready. 37. Hey, let's get this.
Again, it's Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Let's get it. Ready. Select 25. He's sick as the mic. No chance.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Jackson in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked. Out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot.
13-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Now a first carry for the backup, Isaiah Crowell. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Crowell. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A first throw for the backup, Griffin. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appered to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, Ryan. And my goodness, another interception. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a Viking. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Gano the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He's got a first down and more past the 30. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. Let him go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by the defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
6 man.
Hey, check.
Check curls. Ringer, got it.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Now a desperation throw. Deep depth. It's caught inside the 25. It's a gain of 35. They set the goal beginning of the year. Hey, let's win 7 games. Unfortunately, with this loss, they can't do it.
So now it'll be interesting to see how they respond as a team, because sometimes when you set goals, if you don't achieve them, you don't care anymore. You let everything else go. I want to see if they're going to continue to fight, scratch, claw, do whatever to try and get as many wins as possible, even if it doesn't reach their stated number.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long from Tampa.